Today, we have some exciting news to share with you that will significantly impact a large number of people. So take a seat and let's get started. What do you think? On April 19th, you will get the first of two payments that the government has decided to send out. For whom are these payments intended? This is for you if you get benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, Social Security, Supplemental Security Income, SSI, Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, or if you are a veteran receiving benefits. We'll explain everything to you in this video. We'll go over exactly what this means for you and your wallet, who is eligible, how much you can anticipate receiving, and, above all, what actions you should take to guarantee that your money arrives on schedule. We have all the information you need. We will discuss why this is such a significant concern for so many families out there in addition to the financial aspect of it. For many, these payments serve as a lifeline, enabling them to satisfy their basic needs and make ends meet when things are hard. To let you know that you're not traveling this path alone, we'll tell true stories from people who are just like you. Alert! There is important news that could increase your income if you get benefits from the VA, Social Security, Supplemental Security Income, or Social Security Disability Insurance. We've approved two new direct payments, and you may be eligible for one of them. We'll go over everything in this video, including who receives these payments, how much money you may anticipate, and the precise timing of when those cash will appear in your account. You've been waiting for this money, so let's get started with the most recent information. Given the increasing prices of inflation, if you receive benefits from the VA, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or other programs, you undoubtedly have been expecting for some financial respite. Apparently, relief is on the way, since the government recently approved two further waves of direct payments. Since these are distinct from the yearly cost of living adjustments, it's a welcome added benefit. The devil is, of course, in the details. To whom precisely does this apply? What is the expected amount? And what time will these funds be received? Keep watching because we have all those answers, plus more, coming up. All right, so let's begin by dissecting the first of these two recently authorized direct payments. This is only for people who receive Social Security benefits. This covers people receiving SSDI disability benefits in addition to regular retirement benefits. The most recent sources state that each and every qualified Social Security beneficiary will get $200 from this initial payment. That is $200 for each individual, not for each home. Married couples getting benefits can therefore anticipate a total of $400. There are no longer any intricate income requirements or thresholds in order to be eligible. You will immediately be eligible for this $200 direct payment if you are currently receiving SSDI or Social Security retirement benefits. However, it's crucial to remember that this payment is exclusively available to Social Security recipients. This initial payment wave does not include Supplemental Security Income or SSI recipients. In a moment, we'll discuss the individual SSI payment information. When will Social Security recipients be able to get their $200 payout? The recently passed legislation states that July 2024 is the intended delivery date. Naturally, there is always a chance of delays, but the objective is to release this funds by the next summer. One other important note regarding this payment: it is formally classified as a rebate. This implies that in 2024, it won't be regarded as taxable income. Thus, the entire $200 payment amount is yours to keep. Now let's discuss the second direct payment that was recently authorized. This one is intended for people who get Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. Although the specifics are still being worked out, we already know that each SSI beneficiary will get a payment of $125. It will be $125 for each individual SSI beneficiary, not for each household, much like the Social Security payment. It's important to keep in mind that the requirements for eligibility for this SSI payment differ slightly from the Social Security requirements that we recently discussed. There will be income phase-out limits with this SSI payout. According to preliminary indications, SSI beneficiaries who earn more than a specific amount from other sources will likely have their $125 monthly lowered. $115,000 for an individual and $25,000 for a pair is that barrier. In actuality, this implies that certain really low-income SSI beneficiaries will receive the entire $125, while individuals with greater incomes may receive a smaller payment, or possibly none at all, depending on their overall income level. Although the income phase-out levels are still being determined, please be advised that this specific payout will require some sort of income testing, not like the immediate cash from Social Security. In terms of schedule, the intention is to disburse this SSI payment in 2 installments, the first half in September 2024 and the second half in December 2024. While those dates are subject to change, the fall and winter seasons are when this one takes place. Additionally, this SSI payment is regarded as a rebate and will not be subject to income tax in 2024, much like the Social Security payment. This second payment wave includes recipients of VA or Veterans Disability Benefits, another important category. You would be eligible for the same $125 direct payment if you are already receiving VA disability compensation or VA pension benefits. VA disability benefit beneficiaries would be subject to the same income phase-out limits as those outlined for SSI recipients. However, veterans with lesser incomes could expect to get the entire $125 payment in 2 installments over the course of next fall and winter. Alright, so those are the main facts about these 2 recently authorized direct payment rounds that are brand new. In summary, Social Security retirement and disability beneficiaries will get their first payment of $200 per person in July 2024. No upper income cap. The second payment, $125 per person, for SSI, Virginia pension, and VA disability compensation beneficiaries will be made in 2 installments in the fall and winter of 2024. There will be income phase-outs. Let's now stand back and consider the potential wider effects of these payments. The Social Security Administration's most recent statistics indicates that almost 65 million Americans receive Social Security benefits on a monthly basis. This comprises more than 46 million retired workers and an additional 9 million SSDI beneficiaries who are disabled. According to census data, millions of veterans are getting VA disability or pension benefits, while over 7 million people are registered in the SSI program. Upon totaling everything, we can readily say that approximately 70 million American people and households stand to receive direct payments from at least one of these 2 newly authorized payment waves. Based on the most recent enrollment statistics, we are looking at well over $15 billion being distributed in total dollars through these payments. A Social Security beneficiary's $200 makes about $10 billion all by itself. Therefore, the economic impact might be substantial, particularly for people who depend on these federal programs for relatively fixed incomes. Having an extra $200 or $125 can go a long way toward covering essentials like groceries, prescription drugs, rent or mortgage payments, and other expenses. Even though the payments aren't large, any financial relief is beneficial in this atmosphere of increasing inflation. We're confined. These recently approved federal direct payments may give millions of Americans who are struggling to make ends meet some much-needed breathing room. Naturally, not everyone agrees with the concept of these new direct payments. Critics have not wasted any time drawing attention to the hefty total cost, which estimates vary from $15 billion to $25 billion, depending on qualifying requirements. There are worries that adding billions more to direct payments would inadvertently contribute to inflation, if slightly. Certain experts contend that increased disposable income will result in more consumer demand and expenditure, which could partially negate the intended financial alleviation. Then there are the typical political arguments, where one side claims that these payments are really just an ineffective way to redistribute money. They think it would be better to utilize the funds for anything else, like paying down the already enormous amount of federal debt. Rather, proponents of the payments argue that low-income households, the elderly, and people with disabilities have been disproportionately affected by inflation. They further point out that, in contrast to millions of people who qualify based on income, Recipients of these significant federal programs did not receive any direct payments during recent stimulus rounds. The fairness argument also goes that people on disability and fixed Social Security incomes should be granted temporary relief, just as federal government employees have been receiving significant wage increases and cost of living adjustments for the past few years. Thus, it is reasonable to anticipate that political divisions on the necessity and desirability of these recently approved payments will persist. Your position is probably determined by your individual financial status and ideological preferences.